Hello and welcome. Creating a CV is a journey of self-analysis, self-discovery, and self-promotion, and is not a task to be rushed. Think of your CV as your marketing brochure. What is your offer? What are your unique selling points? And how are you different from the competition? It is important to gather the information on your work life before you start formatting your document. Your CV creates the first impression for an employer. Spend as much time as you can making sure it promotes your skills and experience in the best way possible. The standard information in most CVs is your contact details, a personal statement or profile, details of your skills and work experience, and your qualifications, training, or education. You may hear about different types of CVs, including chronological, functional, and skills-based. Different styles highlight different information in regards to what is most important and makes sure it's the first thing that an employer sees. The CV of a graduated student is going to be different to that of a working professional. Design. 60% of CVs are dismissed because they are cluttered or poorly formatted. Use a single-spaced 12-point font. The font should be simple and easy to read. When emailing or uploading your CV, use a PDF or Word document-based file. Sometimes it is best to use a Word document, as recruiters often convert CVs into their own formats. It is vital to know that applicant tracking systems used by some employers cannot scan PDFs, which can mean automatic rejection. Make sure that your bullet points are round, not triangular or square, as some software can get confused with complex symbols. Do not include a picture, or worse still, a selfie, as many employers will disregard CVs with pictures. It is important to firstly identify your passions and strengths and then highlight them to your future employer. We don't often think about what we are good at, and some of us find it difficult to identify the skills and qualities we have to offer. Skills are things that you can do or learn to do, while personal qualities are something you are or have in your personality. Both of these things are important to an employer, so it is important that you identify these skills and qualities. Do you know what skills and personal qualities that you have within you? Here are some examples of skills and the actions that can be involved within them. This is a quick summary, however, there is much more information on skills identification and assessment on the portal. Personal qualities. Everyone is unique in their makeup of skills and qualities, and therefore will be suited to different types of work at different times in their life. Take time to pick out some of the keywords you see here that you think could relate to yourself. Think about your last job. What were some of the tasks you were required to undertake? Write 3 of them down somewhere, and once you have done that, identify the skills and personal qualities included within each. You can seek the views of friends and family. They may come up with some skills and qualities that might have slipped your mind. Once you have this information, you can keep identifying tasks from previous employment roles and building upon your career self-awareness. This list of skills and qualities can be used in your personal profile, as part of a skills and achievements list, as part of your job details, within a cover letter, or at your job interviews. Update your skills and qualities on a regular basis, ensuring that you give employers up-to-date samples when you get to your interview. It also means that your CV will be kept relevant and interesting. Your unique skills and qualities set you apart from others. So make sure that you know who you are, because trust us, you are great. Basics and contact details. Do not include your date of birth, marital status, nationality, or health anywhere on your CV unless it is a requirement for the type of work you are seeking. Some of this information may be in your CV by implication, for example, in your work history or your interests. Here's a few tips. Your name should always be bigger than your contact details. Make it stand out and avoid using headings at the top of your CV. All you need is to include your name, address, postcode, phone number with area code, and email address. And remember, check, check, and check again for spelling and grammatical errors. Personal statement and profiles. This section of a CV is optional, but has become a common feature of most CVs these days. A personal statement or profile is a short, punchy summary about you, which can be easier said than done. Your statement or profile is the first thing an employer will read, and it may well be the only thing that they read. It is therefore important that you produce a personal, meaningful statement or profile that will capture an employer's attention. Very common phrases from CVs include, "I work well individually and as part of a team," and also, "I am an honest, hardworking individual." Because these are common, perhaps try changing your CV to give a similar message, but maybe conveyed in a different way. When writing a personal statement, keep the length to 5 lines if possible. Remember, you can describe some of your skills in your covering letter or in other parts of your CV. Write in the first or third person consistently throughout your CV, keeping to the same style as you go. The first person is the person speaking, referring to I or we, and the third person is the person being spoken about, referring to he or she. Also include positive achievements relating to your skills and qualities, and briefly explain the impact of having a particular skill if you can. Here's some examples. My communication skills have helped me to build excellent relationships with suppliers and customers to improve the company's performance. Is much more impressive than an excellent communicator who works well with others. Here's another example. I am looking for a marketing position that uses my creative skills and innovative ideas to increase the company's profile. You may include an ambition in your statement like this. If you wish to state that you are seeking a particular position, include why this would benefit the company. Remember, if you can't prove it, don't write it. There should be a link between your statement or profile and the rest of your CV. If you state that you are able to work to a high degree of accuracy, there should be a link to a job or interest in your CV where you have used this skill. Work experience. Include permanent, temporary, part-time, and voluntary work in this section of your CV. You may also include other activities where you can evidence work-related skills. Headings. Different headings will apply for different kinds of past experience. Work history, employment history, career history, work experience, and experience can all mean different things. You may think of different headings that will suit your CV specifically. Presentation. Guidelines that we recommend are to start with your latest job and work backwards. Include your job titles using a bold or an italic font to make the job title stand out from the other duties or job description. Decide which details to include for each job, for example, format of dates, employer names, locations. List your main duties, responsibilities, achievements, and other relevant information under each job title. Remember to use action words and highlight any specific achievements. Simply bold the company and italicize the company description. Everything else can be plain text. For each position, state your title and job responsibilities. The sentences in the responsibilities and key accomplishments sections should begin with verbs, not personal pronouns. List the roles you've held in reverse, from newest to oldest. For your current position, use the past tense to describe responsibilities for all previous accomplishments in former positions. Diversity. Our strengths are our differences. Most companies are actively seeking diversity at all levels to widen understanding and increase representation and equality across society. Don't be afraid to share your cultural background or the communities you are a part of on your CV. The best way to incorporate this in your CV's additional information or education sections. Are you a member of a minority-oriented community group? Then mention it. Are you involved in advocating for a particular group? Put this in your additional information section. Have you written about your experiences as a minority student? Be sure to describe this along with your other interests. LinkedIn. LinkedIn will help you find employment quicker because most hiring managers and recruiters are already using it. 87% of recruiters find LinkedIn to be the most effective when vetting candidates during the hiring process, especially those under 45. Make sure that the CVs you've created are matched by your LinkedIn profile. Whatever you put up on the platform plays a part in how you position yourself. Moreover, don't simply cut and paste your entire CV. Pick and emphasize achievements that underline what you can bring to a position and draw attention to your specific strengths and passions. Be sure to weave in a few carefully chosen keywords relating to your job specification and industry sector. Also, upload a profile picture. Having a photo on a platform where the vast majority of members show their faces will not damage your first impression. There's also the possibility of missing out on opportunities that spring from familiarity. Your profile picture does not need to be professionally taken, but it should be professional in appearance. Social media. Be careful what you tweet, update, share, or mention. With one angry, ill-considered post, you can lose a job. Online, there is no place to hide. If you wouldn't stand up and say it in front of your boss, then don't say it online. Online network building. During COVID, a lot of work has moved online, which also includes networking. Networking is when you interact with others to exchange information or develop relationships. It primarily relies on basic human nature, reaching out to the community around you and communicating with them. You could join and actively contribute to online groups covering your function or industry. The more closely related these are to your target job, of course, the better. You could also sign up to specific recruitment agencies in your sector or the sector you hope to work in. Studying online can also be a way to connect with those who share your interests. The digital age. Getting your CV right is half the job, as we advise that you have to have a positive online presence too. In today's digital world, recruiters will study your LinkedIn profile, public Facebook pictures, blog posts, and newspaper articles. Your CV and online image should be consistent with one another. Being familiar with the digital world and using social media platforms to connect directly with employment opportunities around you is necessary when job seeking in current times. Don't be afraid of the digital world, but also don't get too lost in your online presence, because nothing can compare to the energy that you bring to a room or the value that you can add to a team. In summary, CV skills and navigating your online presence in a professional regard is a huge topic. With support, you can create a piece of work that shows off you as a person and your characteristics as a human, which can ultimately manifest in the next step of your career journey. Don't be afraid to show yourself off, because the world of work is waiting.